Hi everybody, it's Laura here. So today I'm going to show you, well, first of all, I got a fabulous little sample. I was one of the lucky ones of Violet Rain. It is a pigment from this little piggy. It's one of their new colors that's coming out tomorrow, going up for sale tomorrow. So I took that out of that little package and I put it in this container. And I'm going to show you how I mix my paints. Or I should say my pigment. But it's the same process for the paint. So I'm going to mix it in this little cup. So what I do is I take a tablespoonful of my Minwax Polycrylic. And I dump it in there. That's all I'm going to use of that Minwax Polycrylic. So what you're going to do here is, in the case of a pigment, now if you were doing a paint, you could put your polycrylic in there. Next, you could put your base that you use. Like I use the Glidden GLN6413N. I could put that right in there right away and then put my two little blobs of paint and just mix it all up. But because we're making a pigment this time, we need to disperse this beautiful powder first. In other words, get it absorbed. So I'm going to take about just shy of a half a teaspoon and I'm going to put it in there. So now when you're doing this, you want to be sure to keep this away from your face so you're not breathing in that dust. And then what I'm going to do, making sure I'm in the camera here, I'm going to take and stir up this pigment in the polycrylic very well so it all gets dissolved. And that is how you avoid little clumps. Okay, look at this color. It is just beautiful. So right now it's very thin because all we have is the polycrylic in there. And when we add our paint base, it's going to thicken it up. So like for the neon colors, they are thicker. The powder is thicker and chunkier. So those you have to spend a lot more time stirring at this stage. But because this is not a neon, you don't have to do that. You don't have to stir as long. So hold on, I got a little powder on here. Let me wipe that up. This is the most beautiful purple. I can't wait to try it. Let me get this stuff out of the way. All right, so we put our tablespoon of that in there. It's, the pigments are dissolved in there. So now I'm going to add my tablespoon, and I usually go all the way with that. Now this slides right out of the tablespoon because you got that slippery polycrylic in there. Well, it's not sliding so much. Let me help it. Okay, so now we have that in there. And I'm going to stir that up and it's going to thicken this. Now this Glidden has a little bit of titanium white in it. And it tends to dull the color a little bit. But as it dries, it'll come back some, not completely. So I'm finishing up this can of Glidden, but I want to show you. Let's see if you could see that. I don't know if you can or not, but it leaves a trace. You want it to leave a trace for about a second. Okay. Yes, this has really lightened this up, but it's very shiny in there and glittery. I think it will be pretty. It does get darker. I'm going to have to make it with my my Behr 8300. Shouldn't have done that, but whatever. So that's how we mix our paints. So now I'm going to show you. We're going to do a coaster with this. Let's see. I want to try to do something very... Let's pick out a lighter purple. I haven't even picked out my colors yet. We're gonna pick out our darkest purple. Diox is in purple. We're gonna pick out that. We're gonna use the Violet Rain. And how about, what do you think? Maybe a yellow? Let's try Lemon Sorbet. And today, we're only going to use those 3 colors. Here I am. Listen to me grunt. I'm struggling to get my pillow paint open. 1 second. Got it. I actually have to sit down, put the container in between my legs, and fight with it. Anyway, here comes our pillow. This is PPG Multi-Pro. Very thick. Thick is best. If you saw one of my recent videos, you saw me say I did that experiment because I grabbed the wrong pillow paint container and it was too thin and it did not work well. So thicker is better. So let's get our colors on here. We're going to use, boy, my paints have really thickened up. It got really cold here in Ohio. Yesterday the wind was just brutal. And it doesn't help. My husband's away deer hunting, so he's the one that turns the heat on down here in the basement. And the heat hasn't been on for like 4 days. So it's cold down here and my paints have thickened. I should have turned the heat on before I got started, but that's okay. So there's that. Here is our beautiful Violet Rain, which I wish I had mixed in the Behr 8300. I'm going to get that can open today and break it out. But we'll see how this goes. Here's our Lemon Sorbet. It should be pretty. And that's all. I think that's all we're going to do. I always do so many colors. Now, I think I'm going to put just a little bit more of the Diox Purple on. Then we're going to put on our cell activator. I'm going to use a black and a white. Never done that before. Going to try it and see what happens. Here comes our black. Here comes our white. You always want to stir up your cell activator very well. Just a little bit of white. All right. We're ready to go. We are ready to see what happens. I'm being very gentle to just below. What am I hitting underneath here? My sewing machine is under the table. Very gentle, just to, so we don't blow out our pillow. All right, we're going to let that work for a little bit. We got cells happening. We're going to let them come up because you got to give it time. Got to give it time. While I'm doing that, I will close up my colors. Look at that. Look at those cells coming. All right, so I really like the double cell activator. That is pretty. Ooh. And that lemon sorbet is coming up gold. Like a golden shade in there. Pretty. See how that's all returning to the center? And it's creating all those cells? This is why you want to give stuff time to work. It really needs its time. Oh, yeah. Okay, so just going to drag this out a little bit. Should we modify? Why not? Let's do some modifying. I want to do this one that I did in one of my recent paintings. I'm just going up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And it gives a really nice look. Okay, let's spin. So again, that was Diox Purple by Amsterdam, Violet Rain by this little piggy, Lemon Sorbet by this little piggy. Ooh, look at that. This lemon sorbet is just gorgeous in there. It's like a gold showing up against those darker purples. FYI, my next painting will be a the Violet Rain mixed in the Bear 8300, so you can see what a difference your base makes in your pouring medium. What you want to do, and I knew this, and I should have done it, but I'm short on time today. So what you want to do is you want to take your base 3 And before you do anything with it, just put a little dab of it on a piece of cardboard or something and see if it dries perfectly clear. If it does not dry clear, then it's going to subdue your paint color. I have another example I can show you, and this is one that I have to remix. So this is maraschino. You can see what it looks like. Now this color is close, but it's not as vibrant, and that's mixed in the one that has a little bit of titanium white in it. So I'm going to remix that. It wasn't so noticeable in the other pigment, so I've been doing it, but now I'm starting to see in a few of them it really does make a big difference. So you always want to use a base that dries clear. There's a bunch of them out there, but the Behr 8300 is probably the most famous one that everybody likes the consistency of and such. So I'm going to take it down and show you. Let's turn on the flash. Look at that lemon sorbet in there. And look at the cells. So, I never really stopped to study the difference between just a black cell activator and the black and white. And you could see it follows the same, it stays in a cell shape as opposed to like lacing, but it breaks up that black and gives it a little bit more two-tone definition. Look at that gold there, that lemon sorbet. So there you have it. Isn't that pretty? Just gorgeous. And that violet rain is just stunning. Could be more stunning if I mixed it in the right paint, which I will be doing later today. Look at that gold down in there. So pretty. So that is Violet Rain. And you got an idea of how to mix things. It's super simple. And just look at the beautiful result you get. All right, everybody. Take care. We will see you. Bye-bye.